Alright guys, so I'm going to be helping you go over some of the basics you need to know for doing these assignments on Delta Math. So you can see here I've got polynomial factoring and graphs. That's where most of your assignment is coming from this week. The first section we're going to look at together is polynomial terminology. Polynomial terminology. What is the y-intercept of the polynomial f of x defined below? Write the y value only. What they're literally asking for here is what's the y-intercept? We should always remember that a y-intercept is when x equals 0. So a y-intercept, x equals 0. Well, if I go to this equation over here and pretend that x is 0, I'm looking at 8 times 0 squared minus 1. You guys don't need me to tell you that is all going to equal 0 minus 1. So my y-intercept when x was 0 would be a negative 1. So just pop down here, go a negative 1, submit. Yes, I'd like to enter that answer. I'm great. I'm good. New problem. What is the degree? All right, guys. Degree of polynomials is the value of the highest exponent. We were doing these in the last section, so you should be able to do this as well. So degree, sorry about the terrible handwriting. I'm doing this in one quick take. Consider it being like in class again. Degree is the highest exponent. Give you a hint, you should either screen cap this or write it down. Probably write it down given my handwriting. So the highest exponent here, I'm going to look over at the equation. I see x plus x to the fourth. Oh wait, 4, that's now my highest exponent. I'm paying attention to that. Minus 8, no exponent on an x, plus 2x to the third. I ignore the 2, I only care about the 3 here. So the 4 is my degree. Boom, 4, submit answer. Yes, I want that to be my answer. Great. If you look at the answer, they're talking about it in standard form where the highest degree number would be written first. I didn't even bother rewriting it. I just scanned through and looked for the degree. What's the highest exponent? If you want to rewrite it, you can. It's not a bad idea. So what is the leading coefficient in the polynomial? F of x defined below. Blah. So what they want us to do here is think about this in standard form. Leading coefficient is going to be, and you should remember a coefficient is the number in front of the variable, or just a number by itself. So we have 8x to the third minus 8 plus 4x squared plus x. They don't want us to think of it this way. They want us to think of it in standard form, which would be the highest exponent first, which in this case is 8x to the third. So you'd want to rewrite this in standard form, or just look for what would be first in standard form. In this one, it would go 8x to the third plus 4x squared plus x minus 8. And then you go for the first coefficient, which, as I said earlier, it's the number with variable or by itself. If I rewrote it in standard form, the first thing would be 8x to the third. So the leading coefficient, 8. Submit, yes. New problem. What is the y-intercept down here? Guys, it's a little different than the last y-intercept problem because if x is 0 this time, you're going to wind up going negative 7 times 0 squared plus 10 times 0, and you get 0. So it would be 0 this time. Don't fall for the little tricks and traps like this. Y-intercept again. We've done a couple y-intercept examples. This one I would just scan through real quick and go, hey, here's a negative 5. That's the only thing not with an x. If x's were zeros, everything else in this problem would turn into zeros, and I'd have a negative 5. So, boop, done. New problem. Y-intercept, we just said it. We just did one like this. Just did one like this with y-intercept. Leading coefficient of this one. Again, I look for the highest degree. That is x to the third power. So the highest degree is 3. -9 is the number there, so boom, -9, submit answer, yes. And you just keep repeating these over and over. These are things we've done, but just not quite in this way, so you need to look at it and approach it. So, hope you guys don't find this too challenging. I will be available during my normal office hours as a drop-in 1 to 4 this week, and I will have a second tutoring session also. Check your post where you found this video for the times and reminders. I will also be featuring my Google Voice number there. Because of weirdness, I can't pick up the Google Voice number, but it'll just go straight to a voicemail. You can leave a message or you can text it. I'll get it on my computer. It's just like an email, honestly. I'll get back to it when I get back to it. All right, I hope you're all well. I hope you're all keeping yourself somewhat entertained. Have a good day.